Good afternoon. Welcome to our Thursday Live. This is the first day of December, the year 2022. And with me today, I have a very special guest. This is not Joe Black, this is Alta Vos. Alice is my mentor in so many aspects of my life. And it's also her birthday today, so happy birthday. And for those of you that are watching, this is also just a warning, never visit me on a Thursday, because then you end up being part of the Thursday Live. Also, a happy birthday to Mihilke. You have seen Mihilke with me on some Thursday Lives, my brother and sister-in-law's little beautiful girl. Mihilke, geluk met jou verjaarsdag. And for those of you that are watching from a different country, that is happy birthday in Afrikaans. So wherever you are watching from, whether it is Australia, Switzerland, Ireland, Mauritius, New Zealand, the UK, South Africa, sit back, relax and enjoy. The reason for this session is to inspire, to unleash that creativity that might be hidden somewhere inside of you, and to inspire you to get dirty with paint. That's something, the first time ever Alta will be painting will be today, and she is going to experience how easy it is to be creative and what a therapy it is to get dirty in paint and being creative in a sense of creating something out of nothing. Today we are going to have an upcycled session, because that is what Tjhoko is all about. Giving everything and anything and everyone around us a second chance. And we are going to work, and we all in South Africa have got these. This is a shopping bag, a fabric shopping bag. And we are going to create something. I'm going to show you what the end result is so that you feel inspired to watch the entire session. Create this. From this. Okay, let's see what we need. Alta, this is specifically for you. So in our Tjhoko book, and this is also the main color that we are going to work with today, it's lovely Lorinda. And this is named after my mom. And in our book, and you know, you all that know me know I carry my heart on my sleeve, so excuse me. But in this book, I say, so this is the Tjhoko book, by the way. And in the book, the very last, and maybe I have mentioned it before, but I just feel today is the time to mention it again, is I say. And for every project you will need passion, believe in yourself. Grab these words, put them somewhere inside of you, carry them in your heart. Tjhoko inspiration, knowledge that anything and everything can be changed, enjoyment in the process, and then courage to ask for help if you get stuck, because we are right here to help. And that's something that we try to do with Tjhoko, is to give help and assistance along this journey. Alta, and this is what I'm going to be today, the instrument to unleash the creativity that you didn't even know you had inside of you.
Because I can write academic papers, I can write poems, but I never get my hands dirty. So I'm so glad you're going to be my mentor today. What must I do?
Okay. So we are going to kick off this creative session with some lovely Lorinda. And on this fabric shopping bag, we are going to use our Hamilton's brush as always. And Alta, you are just going to put that paintbrush in the paint color, lovely Lorinda, and we are going to paint. No, we're not going to paint, Alta. We're going to Tjhoko it. Okay, so this is the first coat. On your shopping bag, what I've done is I've inserted a plastic sheet on the inside and not paper or anything else. This can be used again later as a garbage bag, but even the sleeve of your water slide transfer can be put inside, and I'll show you now. So later, while Alta is painting, we are going to make use of this water slide. And to recycle, you can use the plastic sheet whenever you need to put plastic on the inside between two pieces of fabric. So we try to be kind to nature. Everything Tjhoko related is water-based, non-toxic, eco-friendly. So we have reached that part of the year where things are reaching an end. We start reflecting on the year, things that happened throughout the year, and we're also getting ourselves busy with creating gifts. And that's also the reason for this session, because this will make a beautiful gift to someone, a gift bag. Here you can see the logo. It needs more than one coat, even more than two, but I'll show you now, just because it's so visible and printed in on the fabric. So this is coat number 1. We did not wet the fabric. We did not dilute the paint. We simply painted an even first coat. Alice?
I think we're ready.
Geniet jy die proses?
I think mine looks better than yours.
Thank you, Alta. Okay, so this is coat number 1. And I'm just going to turn it around because you know with a Facebook Live we need everything prepared in steps. And there's coat 1 after it has dried. So important is to allow for your paint to dry before you apply the second coat. Okay, and now we're doing the same, and we're actually not going to do the entire here, just to show the process. So here we do a second coat. I'm a messy painter. The most important rule, Alice, is to enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying the process?
I am. I'm actually thinking, how difficult can this be? I'm going to make it.
And actually, if you start, you don't want to stop. We said we're not going to paint the entire second coat, but we've done it.
We've already done it. Let me just paint your side.
Oh, dankie, Alice. Okay, now the second coat is on. Kaylee is our photographer, and there you can see what it looks like after a second coat, but also now it needs to dry. Okay, I'm just going to put this aside so that we can work on our next. So here's our bag. I must be honest with you, on the center section where the logo was, I did apply a third coat just to hide it. Okay, now I'm going to do the following, and I'm just going to move things around because we have a messy section here that we don't want to damage what we've already created. So this is now my canvas that has been prepared. And for the next step, I'll use the following: Cloud White, Olivia's Pale, Magical Marina, and Reddish Mellow. We are also going to use a kitchen sponge. I'm going to cut it in half so that Alice has her own piece. And I have some cooled boiled water here. And the reason for cooled boiled water is the fact that tap water contaminates paint products. And we are now going to wet our sponges and work with a sponge in the paint, and we don't want any contamination to happen. I'm going to move on. Let me actually. So what I do is I take my kitchen sponges, I dip it in the water, I remove excess moisture. And the reason for the damp sponges is just to, when we do the wash technique, and that's the technique that we will be doing next, we want an even application everywhere. And a damp kitchen sponge or a damp mutton cloth just gives an even flow of color. There's your piece, Alice. And now we are going to be playful. I dip just an edge of my sponge in some reddish mellow.
I do the same.
Yeah, you can do the same. And we're just going to fill in the corners of our shopping bag. And what we do is we dab, 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 just to create a darker shadow. So it's like a washing technique, but in the same breath, a blending technique, where the colors blend and flow in together. And there where we want more color to blend, we just dab more. And remember, color is a personal choice. If you want to use different colors, use different colors. If you have a specific theme in mind, go for it. This is just ideas that I'm sharing. Next, I take some Olivia's pale, and it can be on the same corner, a different corner, doesn't really matter. Okay. You can use it. And then maybe, let's make that corner, Magical Marina, and this corner. So Alice has dipped her sponge in some Magical Marina, and we dab. And what I'm going to do, Alta, is I'm just going to dab with my sponge over there, just to blend in the colors more. So the more you dab, the more the colors blend. And this is art. This is actually a canvas that you're busy. I'm just dabbing. And now, let's do some Magical Marina on this end as well. And we spread it and dab. I'm going to rinse our sponges, and then for a last touch we're going to work with some cloud white. So I just rinse out cloud white, and what I'm actually going to do here is I'm just going to blend it nicely into the sponges, and this will just mute any unevenness and hide any imperfections. Kaylee, and you need to tell us, because you are seeing what's happening through there, and it looks different to what our eyes see. If everything looks nicely blended, if there are areas that we need to pay attention to. So let's just move across. Make sure every area is nice. Yeah, it's like a piece of art that we've just created. I'm just going to make sure there are no streakiness, no lines. So I just move my damp sponge up and down to hide any unevenness. You like it, Kylie? So baie mooi in Afrikaans is translated to English is very pretty, very beautiful. Okay, so when this is now done, we are going to wait for it to dry. And I'm going to turn this over. And there's my dried section. But you can see I've been more playful with the blue than I've been on this side. So you do what you like. If you want to add more color, you add. Just make sure that the center section is nice and light for the transfer that's going to be applied. So when working with transfers, you want a very light background so that the color on the transfer is clearly visible. Okay, next. And this is a step that I have done already, purely because it had to dry before I can continue with this step. I have painted undiluted clear glaze on my dry paint. So the paint, depending on temperature and weather, takes more or less 40 minutes to dry. On fabric, it can take longer. So be patient, wait for the paint to dry. The moment it's hand dry, we are actually not following the instructions on the lid because I did not wait 4 hours before I applied the glaze. But this is a creative session and it's done on fabric. It's not something complicated as kitchen cupboards or wall tiles. So the moment my paint was hand dry, I've painted undiluted clear glaze with my Hamilton's fiber brush onto my surface, and I've allowed for it to be hand dry again. And here it is, hand dry. Next, I used my waterslide transfer and I've cut it out. So there you can see I've cut it out for this session, and the constraint I have with the tub or the bowl that I'm going to add water to, I've removed these small sections just so it's easier for me to show in a live session what I'm doing, but you keep it on and you just cut as close as possible to those details. I have the same water that I've been using to dampen my kitchen sponges in right here, and now I'm putting my water slide transfer in my cold water. And this is also now the moment where you will need some patience, because it takes time for the glue to actually loosen so that the transfer starts to slide. I just want to clean my hands for a moment. So Alice, do you have any birthday wishes?
I always wanted to do something with Tjhoko Paint. So
Jok jy nou?
No.
Jok, is jy seker?
Ek rarig.
Sê dat jy dit nie net omdat jy staan nie.
No, I was too afraid to ever tell you. So I just pretended that I don't want this. But always I thought, I can learn so much from you. Now look at this.
So when my children grew up, Alice's children was already big. So she saw my children growing up, and she is a lecturer in Afrikaans. Okay, luckily not English, else I would have failed. And we have the most amazing memories of our children growing up and holidays spent together, and writing poems of our holidays together. Now today we do a session in English. Never in my wildest dreams I would have thought that this will happen. Okay, I am still being patient, and my water slide is slowly but surely coming loose, but it's not there yet. So once again, patience is required. Okay, and here it's loose. I just want to grab that piece. Okay. So now the water slide, as you can see, and Kaylee will zoom in, is loose. Alice, now you can just watch. My one hand holds the piece of film that is already loose, and my other hand slides the backing away.
Fantastic.
Now, very important next step that requires time is to wipe out the air bubbles that might be underneath. And here you need to spend time to do it properly. And the reason why it takes more time than a flat solid surface is purely because the fabric moves. So you need to take time and rub out all the air bubbles. And I'm actually if you have a clean sponge. Once at Nampu, there was a lovely young girl, and she said she uses her makeup sponge to make sure that she squeezes out all the air that's trapped between your transfer and your surface. But this is really something that you need to spend time on. Work carefully, you don't want to tear the transfer, and just rub out all those air bubbles. Okay, I'm going to repeat it again. Spend time on this process. Make sure it's done properly. And then when this is done, and when the transfer has dried completely, and give it an hour or two, don't be impatient. You are going to apply undiluted clear glaze on top of your transfer again. So with a paintbrush, I'm going to show you so that the process makes sense. I have done it already because I was just afraid that it gets damaged. So you paint undiluted clear glaze over your entire bag and even the transfer. What the glaze does, it prevents the transfer from getting damaged. It actually seals your entire surface. And then, tip, if this has dried and you see any air bubbles that you have not removed and that are still trapped between your transfer and the surface, you take a pin, thanks Alice, and you pop it, so you press it in and squeeze it out. And any air bubbles that might be there will then be removed. But this you can do only once the glaze has dried completely. And there you have, this is still a wet glazed surface now. So once it dries, it will dry clear. So you won't see the white streakiness that's visible now. The glaze will dry completely and you will have a beautiful item that you have made from nothing, and also something that can be given as a gift bag to someone. Okay, Alice. So once all our Facebook representatives came to visit me in Joburg, and almost something similar that happened to you today happened to them. Trish and Sunette and Lee and Marina was trapped in my guest bathroom and they had to wash a wall. Oh. Today you created something, but something that we always do at the end of a Facebook session is we give a message. Can you think of a message you want to share? Something from the heart, nothing Tjhoko related.
Yeah. Something
from the heart, something that you have experienced during your life up to now, that you want to share with with everyone watching.
Wow. I'm just thinking of what you just read about your mom and how she taught you how to paint, and that part that says everything can be changed. I believe that we should change all the time. It's the only constant factor that there is. So I would just like to say, try and get out of whatever your comfort zone is and change little bit by little bit and change the world, or at least your own world.
Okay, so have a changeful, beautiful, colorful week ahead. Enjoy the first week of December 2022. To everyone out there that celebrates their birthdays today, share your names with us. Always also share where you are watching from. And where you are watching from, share the change and the love to those around you. From Mama Tjhoko, signing out. Lots of love. Till next time. Bye-bye.